Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video, I'll be talking about how Commanders insider Lake Lewis believes that the Washington or Terry McLaurin will receive a contract extension worth anywhere from $36 to $37 million per season. That's a lot of money for Terry McLaurin. We're going to talk about that if I think it'll happen. And if it doesn't happen, what will be the ramifications? If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. Trying to hit 16,000 subscribers. So, talked about this briefly at the end of my video yesterday. I want to get more in depth, into this. Yesterday, I had more talked about Sam Cosmi, and then at the end, I mentioned this Terry McLaurin news. So, this is from Lake Lewis, who is a Commanders insider. He obviously does have sources. He's been with reporting for the team for a while, 18K followers on Twitter, has a following on Insta as well, other platforms. He says he thinks Terry McLaurin will receive. So that's first off, that's the good news. He will receive a contract extension. The next part was worth anywhere from $36 to $37 million APY. That's the not so great part. 36 to $37 million puts him at the top, close to the top of the list. Puts him at second. You look at the list right now, Jamar Chase, $40 million a year. And here's the thing. I love Terry McLaurin, but let's keep it real. He's not on the same level as Jamar Chase, as Justin Jefferson, as CeeDee Lamb. In my opinion, he's not. When you get into the other players, that's a different story. DK Metcalf, you can have a debate. St. Brown, you can have a debate. Even A.J. Brown. Like A.J. Brown, I believe he's the better receiver, but, you can have that debate. Again, I think A.J. Brown is he's an elite receiver. I think he's top five. Terry, that's a different story, but also you have to account for Terry, his fit in Washington, everything he brings to this city, the player he is, but then also the person he is, the leader, and just what he means to this franchise. And, he stuck it out through all the bad years, all the bad quarterbacks, and has turned into has been one of the better receivers in the NFL for a while. So I think the floor for a deal is $30 million. I would say that's the floor, is on that same tier as Tyreek Hill, Brandon Ayuk, Amon-Ra St. Brown. T. Higgins just got $28.8 million, which is a lot of money. I think Terry deserves more than that. It's going to be one of his last contracts. He's produced more than T. Higgins. He's healthier than T. Higgins. So I think he deserves more. But when we're talking about $36, $37 million, like some of these guys just got extended. It's not like, CeeDee Lamb got extended 4 years ago. No, he got extended last offseason, I believe. So $34 million, I don't think, Terry should get more than that. DK, though. DK just got $33 million a year. So I could see the Commanders, let's say, go to 33.5. Give Terry more than DK, which I do think he deserves more than DK. So give him 33.5 or even 34. That's fine. And you live with that. And in a couple years, these deals will be different. Some of these receivers will be paid a lot more than they are getting paid right now. Like, for example, Puka Nacua, some of these other receivers that just got drafted within the last few years, their deals are going to continue to increase. Nico Collins, once he gets a new deal, which I know he re-upped it like last offseason or the one before, but he'll get, a good deal. Like these guys are going to continue to move up in terms of their contracts. So Terry's, 33, 34 million isn't going to look insane, but it's still a lot, obviously, but it's not going to, look absolutely crazy in the grand scheme of things when these other guys are getting extended. So, it's not great news, this $36 to $37 million, report. And also what it could be, probably what it is that Lake Lewis, or maybe some of Terry's agents, they've put this information out to a bunch of Commanders reporters. Lake Lewis decides to report it. And, it kind of, in Terry's camp, it gives him a little bit more leverage. And maybe, it just gives him a little bit more leverage. Again, I'm not saying that's what happened. That's one of my theories, is that their camp fed that to Lake Lewis just to bring the price up a little bit for Terry McLaurin. So I think a good compromise, because They're probably right now. It doesn't seem like they're super close. They're probably like $5 million apart in terms of negotiations. Yeah, 5 million ish. Maybe the Commanders are at like 30 or 29, and Terry and his camp are at 35, whatever. And they just have to come to a compromise. It is what it is. Both teams or both sides are gonna have to give up a little bit. Terry, yeah, sorry, you're not going to be able, not going to be able to get 40 million, or even in my opinion 37, 38 million. That's just unreasonable. And also the Commanders, they're not going to be able to sign him for 25 mil, 27 mil, 28 mil. So there's a compromise that needs to be made. That's how it is with all these contracts. I think it will be done. I trust Adam Peters and I trust Terry that he wants to stay here and he's going to do what he can to get it done. He has a lot of money. Doesn't seem like he's a greedy guy, and he's not. Just doing this doesn't mean he's greedy. He's trying to get money. He's trying to make life changing money as much as possible. And also for some of these players, it's a respect thing. Like they're like, what? You don't think I'm worth more than this guy, this guy, this guy? And they just that's definitely part of it. So that's just something I would say as well to keep in mind. So we're going to keep this a little bit short, but I'm going to read some other news. So Commanders rookies are going to report to training camp July 18th, and veterans report July 22nd. So rookies will be a month from today, and veterans a few days after that. And really, that's, I guess, 22nd is the veterans. So the first day of training camp would probably be the 23rd, and then 24th, 25th, whatever. It'll keep going from that. They'll have practices most days. Fans will be able to go to training camp, so that should be fun. Not sure if the tickets have been released yet, but we'll see if able to go again. Have some things that I might be going on, some surgeries ish. So we'll see if I'm able to. But I would love to go to training camp this year. See, I mean, I think it's been the last 3 or 4 years I've been to training camp. So it was, yeah, I think it's the last 3 or 4 years, at least 3, maybe 4 years that I've been to Commanders training camp. It's always a decent time, get to see all, the Commanders fans, and then also just watch practice, see the players, interact with them after as well, which is always good. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys new, and peace.